The last year has prompted us to find moments of happiness in new ways. In that time, Action for Happiness have launched the online global Happy Cafe after they were forced to abandon their face-to-face meetups in Camford Cliffs.
We have contributors from India, from the Middle East, from Europe, and from Africa, and now increasingly from America and South America. So we spread right around the world. We learned from each other's experiences. Where we have people from India talking about Hindu cultures and how they perceive happiness.
Today, I'd like to invite you to follow me into a meditation which will actually be with your open eyes. And I'd like you to close your eyes in the moment for a little while and then open them again. And I'll guide you through it, what we're going to do then with our open eyes.
That ecstatic feeling of falling in love doesn't necessarily last forever. So what does that mean? Does that mean you're in the wrong relationship? You should bail now while you have a chance? Or does that mean that maybe it's time to expand our repertoire of what positive emotions are, not just the exciting ones, those are good, but also the calm and loving ones? And what can we do to practice to what Barbara Fredrickson talks about, prioritizing positivity, prioritizing actions, activities that allow those positive emotions to come, and then to savor those positive emotions.
Lord Richard Layard, you were made a lord. I had a quick look on Wikipedia. I'm impressed you've even got it. I'd love a Wikipedia page.
I haven't read it.
Yeah, I thought
you didn't write it.
No, but you were made.
Our philosophy is all about just sharing positive news. So, any goodness, any good people, what organisations are doing. Our philosophy is that the more goodness that people see, the happier they become. It was interesting.
So, The Atlas of Happiness, I just think is a really, that's a great book, really nice book. I'd be really proud of that if I'd produced that. But now you've got a new book called How to Be Sad. Everything I've learned about getting happier by being sad. And I'm really fascinated by this because it's almost a pet hate of mine when people say you can't get any happier because there always has to be happiness and sadness. So if you have more happiness at one time, you'll have to have more sadness at another time. And I always say, well, no, you have to know what sadness is like to be happy. But you can become happier. It doesn't have to be 50-50.
5 million people possibly pull off the happiest nation on earth title. Lego, beer, bacon, Danish pastries. What else was there to recommend the Danish way of living? But as soon as we really stepped out of the airport, we began to notice that the people around us were different. They didn't look.
So there's another one here, which is get outside and dig up some weeds and plant some seeds, which, as so many people have talked about, we've been talking about the tree and all the things, we've been talking about spring and how beautiful it is. So
what about moving to your favorite music? Really go for it. How about that? That's quite a fun one as well, isn't it? That's a form of activity.
Yeah, that's going to be your excuse to play the music even louder than normal.
Yep.
And
gap. The great news is that the Treasury, which you might think is all about money, is actually producing something called the Green Book, which is about investment appraisal, about cost-benefit analysis, which actually allows you to start thinking about things in terms of what's the overall impact of this on happiness. And there's a methodology.
Let me just end with a story. When we were appointing the director, one of the other candidates, not Mark, had searched the web for any other organization in the world that had the word happiness in its title. And remarkably, what came back on his screen was, your search for happiness has produced no results. Well, that was 2011. We're in a different world now, aren't we? I mean, here we all are together. We're talking, hopefully, to a wider audience year by year. And good luck to all of you in this great I don't know if crusade or mission or what the right word is, but let's have some fun, but let's make a difference.